A very good evening to you and welcome to Newsline Night News. I am Michelle Akinyi.
And I am Natalia Letour. Thank you for joining us. Here are stories making headlines today.
Kenya has secured a 2.1 billion samurai bond from Japan in a move aimed at boosting local manufacturing and industrial growth.
President William Ruto has announced compensation for nearly 2,000 victims affected by past violent protests.
Former Justice Minister Martha Karua has been detained and denied entry into Uganda, sparkling diplomatic concerns.
State assures Gikomba fire victims of supporters probe begins.
Pharmacy and Poisons Board crackdown.
Gachagua speaks on nationwide protest.
Kenya has secured a 2.1 billion shilling samurai bond from Japan in a move President William Ruto says will accelerate the country's push towards local manufacturing and industrial growth. The government says the funding will strengthen industrial capacity and create jobs for Kenyans. Michelle reports.
Kenya has secured a landmark 22.1 billion Kenya shilling samurai bond deal with Japan. This deal is aimed at boosting the automotive industry, energy efficiency and economic reforms. President William Ruto says that this agreement will create over 200,000 jobs and transform Kenya into a hub for vehicle assembly.
Kenya and Japan have inked a major financing agreement, the Samurai Bond, worth 22.1 billion Kenya shilling. The deal was signed at State House in Nairobi, witnessed by President William Samoei Ruto, the Treasury CS John Badi, and Nexi CEO Atsua Kuroda. President William Ruto emphasized that Kenya will no longer rely solely on imported vehicles.
We will not simply import finished vehicles. We will assemble them here and progressively manufacture them here in Kenya by Kenyan workers. This is value addition in its truest form.
The bond will be split into three key areas: 13.1 billion Kenya shilling for the automotive industry, 5.5 billion Kenya shilling for energy efficiency programs, 4 billion Kenya shilling to support reform agendas. Analysts say the yen-denominated loan carries lower interest rates than Eurobonds, but caution that exchange rate fluctuations could pose risks. Japan Nexi CEO Atsua Kuroda praised Kenya's industrial vision, calling it a step towards deeper bilateral cooperation. The Samurai Bond marks Kenya's first major yen-denominated financing in years, with the automotive sector set to benefit most. The government hopes this will spur job creation and reduce reliance on imports.
Reporting for Newsline Media, I'm Vishal Andola Andalo.
President William Ruto has announced compensation for nearly 2,000 victims affected by past violent protests. The government says the initiative aims to support those who have suffered losses and promote national healing. Samson Mutua reports.
The government has announced compensation for nearly 2,000 people who were affected by the past violent protest.
President William Ruto said the compensation program is aimed at helping victims and their families recover from losses and injuries suffered during demonstration.
Demonstration of our commitment, we have already allocated Kenya shillings 2 billion towards compensation and reparation for those who have suffered verified harm arising from protests and unrest, including affected families, injured citizens, businesses lost, and law enforcement officers injured in the course of their duties.
Reporting for Newsline TV, I'm Samson Mutua.
Former Justice Minister and opposition leader Martha Karua is at the center of a diplomatic row after she was reportedly detained at Uganda's Entebbe International Airport and denied entry into the country. Nancy Wangare reports.
Martha Karua's trip to Uganda was cut short after authorities reportedly arrested her at the Entebbe airport. This has raised questions over the freedom of movement, political expression, and the relations between the East African countries. The observers are asking for clearance of the incidents. A diplomatic storm is brewing between Kenya and Uganda after opposition leader Martha Karua was detained at Entebbe International Airport and denied entry to Uganda. Karua, who had traveled to Uganda in a legal capacity, was later returned to Kenya, raising questions over regional cooperation and freedom of movement within East Africa.
Finally, after being taken round offices, I was taken to a man who told me he's the principal immigration officer at the airport, and he told me that I will not be allowed to enter. I told them there is no problem, but by then 2 of his junior officers had snatched both my phones.
According to reports, Karua was held at the airport before being denied entry and later deported back into Kenya.
While waiting for my colleagues, the immigration officer who cleared me came and told me that she has been told she made a mistake, that there was a note regarding me.
Karua was traveling to Uganda to participate in legal proceedings involving Uganda opposition figures, including the defense team of opposition leader Kizza Besigye, a lawyer.
Now is that East Africa has shrunk. East Africa just means your country, because this is my second deportation. I was barred entry in Tanzania for daring to go and witness the trial of Tundu Lissu.
You will agree with me that when it comes to the EAC treaties, Article 6 and 7 has the dream of free entry of goods, persons and services. Law is also a service. When Senior Counsel travels to Kampala, is to offer service.
After returning to Kenya, Karua questioned the actions of Ugandan authorities, saying she was not given clear reasons for being blocked from entry of the country.
This is political persecution of Lukwago, and it is interference with Besigye's defense, because the hearing of his case was even supposed to start on the 11th last week.
The incident has sparked debate among legal and political leaders in the region, with some questioning whether the move goes against principles of East African integration and the rights of citizens to move freely within the region. Reporting for Newsline Media, I am Nancy Wangari.
Okay. You are watching Newsline Night News. We take a short break, but more stories are coming up. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Here are more stories making headlines. The government has assured traders affected by the recent Gikomba market fire in Nairobi that they will receive support as investigation into the cause of the incident begins. Christian Jerry reports.
Hundreds of traders are counting losses worth millions of shillings after an infernal ripped through Gikomba market in early hours on Sunday. 2 people were killed and 17 others were injured. The government has assured the traders who were affected by the recent Gikomba fire tragedy they will be supported in different ways as investigations are going on.
Janga imekuwa ikijirudia kila wakati na serikali imekuwa ikiahidi kwamba itaweka mikakati mpaka kuweka hizo kamera za kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao wanatenda hizi vitendo wanaweza kamatwa na hizo kamera ili kujulikane chanzo za hii mashida ni gani.
Government spokesman Isaac Mwaura said the state recognizes the scale of losses suffered by traders who depended on the market for their daily livelihoods. The latest fire destroyed numerous stalls and goods worth millions of shillings. Mwaura described the incident as a major economic setback and confirmed that the emergency response agencies had already been mobilized to coordinate relief efforts. I quote, "The government understands the immense losses suffered by traders whose livelihoods depend on daily business activities at Gikomba Market. We want to assure them that they will not be left to face this difficult situation alone." End of quote, Mwaura said. The National Disaster Operations Center is working alongside the Nairobi County government and other agencies to assess the extent of damage and identify immediate interventions to support affected traders and help restore business operation. He added that the findings will be used to strengthen fire safety measures in markets across the country and help prevent similar incidents in future.
Reporting for Newsline Media, my name is Christine Gitonga.
The Pharmacy and Poison Board has arrested 95 individuals and shut down 48 unlicensed medicine outlets following a week-long crackdown in Nairobi and Kajiado counties. Edwin Masharia with more.
The surveillance exercise concluded on June 19th saw the PPB inspect 155 premises in informal settlements and high-density areas in both Nairobi and Kajiado County. During the operation, the board confiscated approximately 170 cartons of medicine, which are currently being held in custody pending court directives for disposal in line with regulation guidelines. To ensure the shuttered outlets do not resume operations, the PPB has notified county governments, county security commanders, and the National Police Service to permanently enforce the closures. The PPB says it's strengthening public awareness through the reporting channels to combat illegal pharmaceutical activities and provide customers with ways to identify authenticity. Reporting for Newsline Media, it's Edwin Masharia.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has addressed the nation from Wamonyoro on the June 25th anniversary protest, urging Gen Z to keep off the demonstrations. At the same time, Interior CS Murkomen has ordered tough actions against those accused of invading the protest. James Kamau reports.
Thank you very much, dear Kenyans. Today, I wish to address myself on the planned peaceful protests for Thursday, 25th June 2026, to commemorate the 24th and 25th June 2025 and Sabasaba Day 2025 protests. In June 2024 and 2025, hundreds of our young promising Kenyans were butchered by this regime, others abducted and tortured, some were buried and others have not been found to date. You are also aware that property worth millions of shillings, businesses and livelihoods were destroyed by goons under police escort and supervision. Our young people and leaders were traumatized and dragged through courts of law under terrorism charges, all of which were trumped up and forced. To all Kenyans who lost their loved ones and lost their livelihoods in the three unfortunate events under the hands of William Ruto over the last 4 years, we are sorry. This is not what 55 million Kenyans expected of him.
Rigathi Gachagua urges Gen Zs to stay away from the streets during the June 25th Gen Z commemorations, citing fear of violence, loss of life, and destruction of property by goons. Claimed that the government's intention is not to protect citizens, but to use the protest as a way of harming Kenyans. Called for peace and caution as the country navigates the situation. To act firmly and decisively against any elements who may infiltrate the planned peaceful demonstrations. Rules out media shutdown.
Wafanye maandamano yao ya amani. Wale wanakuja na mawe na silaha wanataka kuleta vurugu kwa Kenya, watachukuliwa sheria. I want to say that anyone who is going to disturb peace.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Chumba Murkomen has directed the police to use minimal force and protect the people of Kenya during the June 25th planned protest. He, however, added that the government may take action against people who will not follow the rules. Reporting for Newsline Media, my name is James Kamau.
We'll take another short break. When we return, Julius Gitao will be here with all the latest in sport. Stay tuned.
Now, thank you, Natalia and Michelle. Let's jump right into the sporting action. Back at home, Tusker FC are the FKF 2026 champions after beating Kenya Police 2-1 in the final played in Kwale. The victory gave Tusker their first FKF title in 10 years and secures a place in the next season Confederation Cup.
Ian Simiyu biashara ya kupendeza, shuti likatambaa chini kama nyoka aina ya swila. Goalkeeper Daniel Ogemo anapiga mbizi akiangalia ukuta, nyuma yake Nyama na Cheka wanatangulia. Goli la kwanza Tusker 0 Police.
Amekuwa baadhi ya wachezaji tatiko wa Tusker moja kwa moja kumbuka kwenye quarter finals.
Ian Simiyu anawadu pamoja na Abu pamoja na Abu Shoto Kwale, Ian Simiyu anasema sijalala bado, anaipitisha katikati ya miguu ya Daniel Ogemo. Tusker wanarejea uongozini 2-1.
For more on the ongoing FIFA World Cup 2026, here is Manasseh with the details.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is in full swing as exciting matches still continue to be played across the United States, Mexico and Canada. Traditional giants such as Brazil, France, Argentina, England and Germany have started off strongly, as some of the underdogs teams such as Mexico have also impressed out here. Teams are currently battling for knockout places, and fans across the world have also enjoyed the matches and expect more.
26 FIFA World Cup is currently underway in the United States, Canada and Mexico, making the first ever tournament to feature 48 teams. So far, football fans have witnessed exciting matches, surprise results and strong performances from traditional powerhouses such as Argentina, France, England, Germany and Brazil. One of the tournament's biggest stories has been the rise of underdogs, with Cape Verde earning a memorable 2-2 draw against Uruguay to keep their hopes of reaching the knockout stage alive. The group stage is still ongoing, with teams battling for places in the round of 32. The expanded format means the top 2 teams from each group, along with the 8 best third-place teams, will advance to the knockout rounds. As the competition intensifies, fans around the world continue to enjoy thrilling football action as nations chase the dream of lifting the World Cup trophy on July 19th.
Reporting for Newsline Media, Bethel Manasseh.
On the international stage, South Africa have made history by reaching the FIFA World Cup knockout stage for the first time. All for sports. I am Julius Gitao. Back to you, Natalia and Michelle.
And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin.
Thank you for tuning in.
Till next time.